if Israel decides we're going to decapitate the government and try to foment an uprising against it, should the United States participate in that operation in any way?
Look, I have not called for killing the Ayatollah. And there is, nations in war generally refrain from attacking and killing heads of state. Now, the Ayatollah doesn't. He's trying to kill Trump. We talked about that.
But we shouldn't punish him for it.
Look, there has been a long-standing, nations in war have refrained from killing heads of state.
You're looking at a rare sight in modern politics, a high-ranking Republican senator being treated like a hostile witness on a platform that used to be his home turf. In this clip, Tucker Carlson doesn't just interview Ted Cruz. He put him through a knowledge trap that exposed the massive rift currently tearing the American right in two. On one side, you have the old-school interventionist regime change policy of the 2000s. On the other, the America First skepticism that has taken over the base.
I have not publicly called for killing the Ayatollah. What I've called for is doing whatever is necessary to stop him from getting nuclear weapons. In the first Trump term, what that meant was maximum pressure. So in the first Trump term, I spent a lot of time urging the president to withdraw from the disastrous Iranian nuclear deal that Obama had. President Trump agreed with me. He did that. And then I urged him to end the oil waivers and to sanction the hell out of the country. And it ended up crippling their economy. So Iran at the time was selling 2 million barrels of oil a day. 1 million barrels of oil a day. When President Trump ended the oil waivers, it cut their sales to 300,000 barrels a day. At the end of the Trump term, the Iranian economy was in shambles. They had massive inflation. I think the regime was teetering. I think it might have fallen. I would use economic sanctions and I would use moral suasion to try to effectuate regime change.
Okay, so you topple the regime and by whatever means, what happens then? How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah,
how could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay, this is cute.
It's not even. You don't know anything about Iran.
The turning point happens when Tucker asks a deceptively simple question. How many people live in Iran? Cruz's dismissive response that he doesn't memorize population tables is a massive unforced error. In a vacuum, knowing the exact population of a country might seem like trivia, but Tucker's critique is sharp. If you are a powerful senator advocating for the toppling of a foreign government, you should probably know if you're dealing with 10 million people or 90 million. It makes Cruz look like he's operating on a 20-year-old script of good guy versus bad guy, without actually understanding the logistics or the human cost of the chaos that follows regime change.
So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the one who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
We're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
Then we get to the most dangerous part of the clip. Cruz says, "We are carrying out military strikes today," then immediately walks it back to say Israel is leading while we support them. Tucker jumps on this immediately. Why? Because the US government was officially denying involvement at the time. This is the core of the critique. Tucker is accusing the political establishment of mission creep, of getting us into wars through the back door while telling the public we aren't involved. Cruz tries to pivot back to the Ayatollah being a great Satan, but in this new political era, that rhetorical boogeyman isn't enough to stop the audience from asking, okay, but what happens the day after the government falls?
We are supporting Israel.
High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay, we are not bombing them.
Oh, okay.
Israel is bombing them. And why do you do the snide, oh, okay?
What do you mean? Because this is super high stakes stuff. This is a huge country that borders a lot of other important countries. A lot of the world's energy comes from there.
So
We
let me
you
ask
don't
you,
want
Tucker,
another disaster. You don't want to be
Tucker,
reckless.
the Ayatollah refers to Israel as the little Satan and America as the great
know.
Satan. Do you believe him when he says it's the great Satan?
course I
Do you
believe-
think?
of course I
Do you
believe
think if
him.
the Ayatollah could murder both of us right now that he would? I do. I believe him.
Okay, I assume no good faith on the part of the Ayatollah.
No, not
and if
good
your
faith.
implication
No,
is like
it's not
I'm
good
pro
faith.
Ayatollah or something.
No, it's not good faith. It's that
Just saying, you're a lawmaker. You're a powerful person in Washington. This is the most powerful country in the world. If you're calling for toppling in government, it's incumbent on you to know something about the country and to think through the consequences of that. And you haven't, and you don't. And I'm saying that's
I haven't
reckless.
thought. Okay, you are.
What we're seeing here isn't just a debate about Iran. It's a funeral for the neoconservative consensus. Cruz is playing the hits from 2003, and Carlson is showing him that the audience has moved on. Whether you agree with Tucker's isolationism or not, this video is a masterclass in how to use knowledge checking to make a career politician look dangerously out of touch. Cruz came in expecting a talk about strategy. He left being called reckless to his face. In the battle for the soul of the GOP, this clip shows exactly who has the upper hand right now.